All right. Good morning. I want to hear a little bit about, for those that were in John Prescott's classes yesterday, or were in the Lead Generate Like a Millionaire class earlier this week. Any takeaways? What did you hear yesterday? What was your favorite thing you heard yesterday, Candace?
Boy, just consistency of branding. So one of the things he talked about was that your logo should tie to, hi Jenny, hi Michael. Your logo should tie to something that you're interested in, not just real estate. So some of the examples he gave were somebody who liked fly fishing, and another person liked, he was in Jackson Hole, and he showed pictures of him with his dog and fly fishing. And then there were other ones who were like the Home Pro, and it was the logo was a little bottom half of a golf ball. So it tied him to not only real estate, but his interests. So he stressed the importance of having a logo and then using that logo across all your marketing. So if you have a postcard, or he doesn't like postcards, but if you have a fold over, like a greeting card that you send out to neighborhoods, put their logo on the very front of their logo for their neighborhood on the very front, and then your logo, of course, on the inside with whatever message you're sending. And then the same for stationery. And then he stressed the importance of having a personal brochure as opposed to a business card. And he said all luxury agents have personal brochures. They don't send out business cards, they send out brochures. And he said it can be a bit expensive, but you can also do it on Fiverr. So great class. I mean, he just, from start to finish, it was filled with what to do and how to create listings. So
anyone else participate that want to share?
Bill, when I was in the lead gen class, he talked about the the up and down graph that you showed us about lead gen.
Yes.
And he definitely confirmed what you were saying, that you should always be involved in your lead gen, because the up and down doesn't necessarily mean you're going to always have a client, and you need to prepare for that to make sure that you do always have a client.
Can I rephrase that a little bit?
Yes.
You need a lot more than one client.
Yeah. No, I mean clients, but I'm just saying that, he was saying that you always need to keep it going, because, once you stop, you'll find yourself in a place that you won't have any clients. So
that's right.
Yes. So
that's exactly right.
He confirmed a lot that you talked about.
We had said this a long time ago, and I meant to spend a little bit more time on it, but I'll mention it for a second today. So many of us have a goal to, let's say we want to sell 2 homes a month. Okay, 2 homes a month. Then what you need to make sure that your calendar and your mindset and your systems and your bandwidth can handle 3 times that. So what I mean by that is if I'm going to have, let's say I'm sitting in the middle of January and I've got 2 closings that are happening throughout the month of January. Okay. I'm basically wrapping up the ones from December. So I still got to focus on those people. Then I'm putting all the finishing touches on the deals that are going to close in January, maybe an amendment here and there. And then I'm getting more and more serious with the people from my pipeline who are going to be transacting in March, right? If they're going to close in March, they're probably going to have to do their paperwork and whatnot in February. So, and then I'm probably even courting very seriously the people who are going to be signing maybe at the end of February or the beginning of March, so that they can then have a little bit of time to get, to go through the process, then go through the contract phase, then get paid, right? So you can't just like, if somebody says to me, oh my gosh, my client is driving me crazy, I'm so busy with my client, say, whoa, we got a big problem here. You need to be able to handle more than one client. If you can't handle more than one client at a time, you're never going to make any money in this business, right? And so that means like we need to be super strategic with our time. We need to be very organized with who are recording and what phase of the transaction they're in and all that stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think also that part of that is the conversion ratios, where you know that not every client is going to turn into a closing, even if you work with them, right? Some of them drop off. Something happens, so you have to factor that in, and that's another compelling reason to have more than one client at a time.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's do one more little share from somebody who learned something in one of the classes this week. Anyone want to share one of their favorite notes that they took down? And I'll share one quote I saw yesterday too. Who wants to go first or next? Anyone?
I have one, but I have to find it. Hold on. Go ahead.
All right, so
I'll find it.
I'll go and then you can go. So I was looking
Okay.
back through an old training binder yesterday, coincidentally, and the very first note that I came across, Candace, I haven't even told you about this, is the following phrase. It says, "In the absence of measurement, you only have feelings." Right. So this is not a ploy to get your numbers in before everyone asks for them. Right. However, if you're not taking note of the results of what you're doing or not doing and making adjustments, then the only way that you can describe your business is through how you feel about it. Does that make sense? Like, I
Yeah.
feel like it's okay.
And do you remember what you had going on in September? I mean, after a while, you won't remember. You'll be like, did I have a closing in September? Did I have 2 or did I have 3? And you won't remember. And the only way to know that is to go back and look at your numbers. Because it gets to be, I mean, it's like if somebody says, what did you eat? What did you eat last Thursday? It gets to be just like that. You won't remember. And you won't be able to track your progress.
Mhm. All right, Ryan, what did you want to share?
Well, I was hoping to read it verbatim. Hold on one sec. Clearly, I need to clean up a little because I've shuffled around several times this week and now I can't find it. But
I was going to say, it was just this week. How far away could it be?
it was like 2 days ago, and now I still can't figure out what happened to it.
All right, let me
Wait,
run through a couple of housekeeping things real fast while you do that.
Okay.
So today, just to remind you, I am teaching at the Market Center. Well, I'm teaching over Zoom, but for the Market Center in KW Roswell training from 1:30 to probably 3 today. It says 3:30, but I don't think we'll need a full 2 hours. Life by Design. So that's going to include some of the theory behind the document, as well as some of the practicality of moving things from there to the models, to the appointments necessary, et cetera. And then ultimately how to get it onto your 411. We are also having virtual chart masters today. That is not in KW Roswell training. That's a separate link. You can get that link in the newsletter that Mel sends out. That's from 10 to 11:30 today. And then next week, there are 2 classes. One is called Winning Listings, a complete guide with Jason Smith. That is a SES class, so it's on Zoom. That is free. And then Gene Rivers is hosting a listing clinic. That is Thursday from 9 to 4. That is not free, actually. It's $69. However, that is probably some of the best $69 you could possibly spend, because Gene is incredible and there's nothing more important in this business than listings, right? Okay. Ryan, should we come back to you at the end?
Well, I can't figure out what I did with it, and I'll have to find it. I might have to go listen to it again to get exactly what it was. But I also listened to there was a recording on basically a direct mail, how direct mail is not dead and how to do it properly.
Yes.
And one of the things that they said in there was that the point of marketing is really to uncover opportunity. And it was a discussion on is it better to send out something to the same people 8 times? Like if you had $1,000, would you be better to hit the same people 8 times? Or is it better to send out to 1,000 people once? And the direct mail expert said it's better to send out 1,000 people once.
Really?
Yes, because then you uncover those that are an actual opportunity, and then you hit them up 8 times. But otherwise, you're wasting your money with probably all but one of the people you're hitting 8 times, when you could uncover like a couple other people. And then you focus on those people.
One thing I heard him say yesterday, which is really important that you guys hear, is they said, I might be slightly off with the number, but he said something like you need like 6 months to a year's worth of budget for your marketing campaign for farming before you even bother starting. If you barely have 1 month's worth of money, it's not very strategic to rely on one mailer to blow up your business. It's over and over and over again. It's followed up with being in the neighborhood, knocking doors, hosting open houses, making calls, etc. So if you only have 1 month's worth of budget, farming, don't even bother with farming. You really need to have more capital so that you are not dependent on the results from month 1 to determine if you're going to do month 2. Make sense?
Yeah, and I think that his approach was a little different than this, but I think it's all in the same thing. It was more like, I mean, I liked his thing about the blasting. Like, really, you got to blast your way in to someone's mind share. Like, just doing something every month isn't even enough.
That's right.
You know, you have to do it every week. You know,
well, that's
really,
why we talk about the 36 touch, right? It's not
right,
the 12 touch.
Well, I mean, just to start, you know, to get there. But this was more like, find those where there's the opportunity, and then focus your money on those people and not just everyone in a certain area. I think
right. There was what's the word? Like a, not project, but like a initiative that they did I believe they did it in Phoenix, like probably 15 years ago. And they created this fake person, basically. And Candace, you've probably heard this. And they did like a really intensive, they asked everyone in town like who the primary realtor was, right? And it was completely scattered. Then they blasted everyone with this fake realtor who literally didn't even exist, right? And did that for like a couple of months, and then asked everyone, and they all said, like, not every one of them, but the vast majority of them said it was this fake guy. You see what I'm saying? So it's in the frequency and in the intensity. All right, Candace.
Well, first let's
take it away.
First, I'd like to hear everybody's gratitude for today. Let's start it off with gratitude. Ryan, what's your gratitude for today? Or what's something something good in your life?
Well, yesterday I had a conversation with my Chicago buyers that came down in November. They're the cash buyers that want to buy a golf course home and whatnot, and they were trying to decide like here or Florida or whatnot. But I know he keeps opening my listings, but we finally had a long conversation yesterday, and they've now listed their home in Chicago, so it looks like they're like ready to. He's like, I think if we sell our home, then I'll really have a fire under me to find a new home. I'm like, yes, you will. So I thought that was good. It sounds like they're actually going to move forward with the move. So hopefully soon.
Fantastic.
I mean, I'm sure their timing will be to like move after school's out, but because they're buying with cash, or if they get kicked out of their other home, they'll have to figure out something a lot sooner. But anyway.
I like to have business in May. That's always good.
That's right.
Tracy.
Great job.
Yeah. Tracy, what's something you're grateful for? Something good? Oops, I'm frozen. I'll come back to you. Leslie, how about you? Okay, I'm just going to say, everybody unmute to be prepared for this. Michael, how about you?
Oh, no.
I got it, Candace.
Okay, good.
I'm just grateful for the support of you and Bill, encouraging us to stay in the fight of this entire real estate game. And that's me being grateful, because I'm in a different place, and I just need the encouragement sometimes.
All right, you got it. You got this
Our
whole group.
pleasure. That's part of the peer, the peer system that we're creating here. So thank you.
Uh-huh.
Tracy, are you able to come off yet?
Okay. Have another day to get right at this real estate, I'm just grateful.
Okay, I
Grateful.
like that, just grateful. All right,
Grateful.
on your screen, it says Jai Nicole, and I know that's not right.
That's me,
Jaleesa.
Jaleesa.
Oh, Jaleesa, oh my
I'm
goodness.
sorry, I'm gonna change that. I didn't know that's what it said.
Look, I know the picture. Okay.
I'm grateful for Keller Williams' other agents. I am really grateful for the other agents that I'm dealing with, not dealing with, but that that I talk with on a daily basis or frequently. They are very helpful. They try to keep me on my toes, always giving me good feedback and information and informational things that I need. And then I'm grateful for my failures. They are really helping me to realize how far I can actually go.
That's fantastic. That's
Lost
fantastic.
you.
Yeah, Michael.
I am grateful for my clients' loyalty. I was visiting with the couple that I'm doing a listing for in Woodstock, and they told me that they had been approached by another real estate agent who said, nah, just talk to your husband. We'll do this for 4%, and you don't need to worry about paying 6% to that guy. And they were like, are you crazy? Forget it. So I was very pleased about that.
That's wonderful. Wow, I love that. Jenny, how about you?
I'm grateful for other agents as well. I was invited to host a open house on Saturday, so I'm just thankful that I was thought of and asked to do that.
Fantastic. Ebony, how about you?
I'm grateful for being intentional with my gratitude. Everything that I'm doing, when you guys say, when you pour into others, it'll come right back to you. So I am being super strategic about making sure that I am not only focusing on what I want, but how can I grow what it is that they want? And then the responses that I've been getting back, like I've met people, like we would have never crossed paths if it wasn't, you know what, Ebony, you have 10 minutes, you're doing nothing. Click on their lives, see what they're doing. And by me doing that and just staying active, I'm getting the feedback that I want, which is growing my spirit. And it helps me to look at my numbers and focus on my numbers and say, here's where you're at and here's where it is that you have to go.
Wow. Wow. I love that. I have 10 minutes, just click on somebody else's life. That's a quote. John,
Yeah.
how about you?
I'm just happy to be here. I'm grateful for the PC group and the coaches for all the help you guys give. Just happy to make it another day and to be able to work in this business.
Fantastic.
Beautiful, beautiful.
That is. And Bill, how about you?
I'm grateful that I get to work at home sometimes. I got to take my kids to school today in the rain so they didn't have to walk, and just happy to do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm grateful for the class yesterday with John Prescott. Thanks, Ryan. Ryan posted what she was looking for. Marketing does not create motivation, it just finds it. Thank you for that. I'm grateful for the class yesterday with John Prescott. I mean, some of what he said, I was like, well, of course, but I hadn't thought of it. So it was just like to see somebody who's put it all together. And he's master, he's one of the master instructors, and there's a reason why. I mean, what he taught yesterday was just so complete and so easy to do that I was just very grateful for that, and am very grateful for that. Did we miss
Beautiful.
anybody?
I don't think so.
All right, we got a whole lot of gratitude going on today. I love that. All right, day 5 is here. Day 5 of the challenge. I looked at Roswell Rocks, and I just was wondering if I missed anybody that posted, because sometimes it's not always in the right sequence.
You know what? I did not get a chance to post yesterday, Candace, but I will do a double post today for sure.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, thank you. It's for you. Just know that it's for you, not for me. So every single one you do is just getting you over that hurdle, so it gets easier and easier. And when we talk about being recognized, like Bill was talking about that fake study, what if people know your face and your message because it's all over the place because of your videos? They don't just know your words, they know your face too. So when you walk down the street, they're like, hey, Tracy, oh my goodness, there's that real estate lady. That's kind of what we're going for with this. So day 5 is about attraction marketing. And attraction marketing is a term for a method of marketing a product or a service, in our case, a service, and it works by providing valuable information about the item before convincing customers to buy. It's a powerful marketing strategy for both lead gen and brand loyalty. So when people associate us with value, and we talk about that all the time in here, Bill's talked about that numerous times about providing value, and coming from a place of contribution rather than taking, we start to build that brand loyalty, and we start to build that attraction marketing. So share your story. That's another way to do a video. We talked about kind of the ways to save time with doing a video that you can edit the beginning to be personalized, but the video has the same content, like to answer questions that people have. What happens now that I'm under contract? What happens now that I signed the buyer agency agreement? What is the buyer agency agreement? Maybe if you sent out a video about that beforehand, dispelling everything about it, people would be like, oh yeah, I'll sign. And I don't mean to say that it's a hurdle, because it's not a hurdle, but for some people in our new realtor minds, it can be a hurdle in our minds. It's not for the buyers typically. What if it's 5 things to get your home ready to sell? We talked about all those, and then you can send that out to, or I'm so glad that we have a listing appointment coming up. I'm sending you a pre-listing packet, and I hope you have a chance to go through it, because it'll provide some valuable information and make our time together very productive. What if you sent out that video to all your listing clients before you go on a listing appointment? That's a differentiator. Nobody else does that. But anyway, share your story. Use your story to emotionally connect with potential customers and provide answers before they even ask. Use the words in the story to emotionally connect, like you could say things like, recently I met with a seller, and if it's not your story, borrow a story from the office. We've talked about that. Recently, I spoke with someone in our office who had a seller whose home hadn't sold during the listing period. And I asked, if this is recently I met a seller, I asked what a 5-star experience would look like for them. And they said, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So guess what? That's what I provide. Because what I try to do always is to create a 5-star experience for everyone I work with. That's another video idea. You want to show personality? Tracy, both you and Lorinda are showing personality. I just smile the whole time I'm listening to your videos on Roswell Rocks, because it's just both of you. I mean, it's so funny. Lorinda talking about how many takes it takes and her sense of humor around that. Tracy, your smile like you've got some sort of secret, and the secret is that you're nervous. And mention facts about your products, bullet points. Don't get into detail. And now I want to share with you a marketing calendar. And here's how you can create videos around your marketing calendar. So we're in February. Let me go to February, and I'll post this. February would be 5 reasons to sell your home before the selling season picks up, right? Less competition. I can't think of anything right now. I'm sleepy. March, but anyway, there's 5 reasons to sell your home before the selling season picks up. Who wants to help me with that? Number 1, less competition. Number 2.
Interest rates are about to go up. You might as well get the buyers who are already qualified, because in 3 months, they may not be qualified for your home.
Thank you. and on we can go with that. And when we do our video class, and when we do our video workshop in the office, we will we'll kind of flesh out these ideas, and then we can all create our videos for each month when we do that. It may take us a few times to do it, few days, I mean, but we'll get that done. March would be the compound effect of building your household's wealth and how you can do that. And that might be a video where you interview a lender and they talk about some of the things you can do with equity. Let's see, April would be increase your home's value up to 28% with these tips. For instance, this is me talking now. Did you all know that studies show that if you paint your home certain shades of blue, depending on which way it faces, offers come in $1,500 more on average? Isn't that crazy? But those are some of the things you can talk about. May, top 5 home design trends this summer. I know if anybody ever sees Better Homes and Gardens, every single magazine, they have new trends for what the paint colors are. You can access some of those resources online. June, what is your home buying power? And that would be another, maybe a lender talking about debt to income and credit scores and so on, and just bullet points. July, the real home value calculator. And that could be, again, providing equity. August could be, and these are just ideas. August could be top 12 apps for homeowners and renters. There's a ton of great apps out there. And I'll share some of them in the PC chat. September could be Consumer's Guide to Hiring an Amazing Real Estate Agent. October, why real estate investing makes sense, dollars and cents. November, top tips for a safer home holiday. Or November could be a gratitude video, something you're grateful for, all the clients you've worked with, your family, make it not just about business, but true gratitude. December could be best presents for the holiday season, or DIY present wrapping. It could be, or it could be keeping your house safe during the holidays. And January could be real estate this new year, what to expect. So those are just some ideas. Does anybody else have any ideas? Okay, creative people.
I have one.
Thank
So
you.
I'm a summer baby. So I would tag my birthday's in July. Everything that's hot happens in July.
I
Let's
love
see what
that.
your home is worth. It's just like, okay, well, big yourself up with it. But yeah.
That's a great idea. So there's a room for creativity within some of, these are just ideas that are out there. So there's room for creativity, whatever you think about. If February might be how to survive the cold weather and tips for making your home more energy efficient. April could be when to plant your garden and how to plant it so that it creates curb appeal. There's all kinds of ideas out there and you don't have to recreate it. So these are just some ideas for video content. So we're already to the homework. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Has anybody done their 10 video texts and has any results from that yet? Well, y'all are quiet today.
I haven't got up to 10, but I always get a great response with video texts. It's exactly what it is that I want. And then I notice I'll do a video text and then I'll see them click on something that I post online. So I'm like, oh, you're paying attention.
So it's not even that they're responding back, but they're responding in another way.
Mm-hmm.
So you've gotten their attention. That is fantastic. Ebony, thank you for sharing that because I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah, that's a that could be a call to action like, hey John, I know that you were interested in getting your home ready to sell for this year. And so run on over to my Facebook page or check out my Facebook page or check out my website where you can see some tips for getting your home ready. And then you've got a video on there about that. So great idea. Thank you, Ebony. All right, so homework for today. We're going to get off early for the weekend. Homework for today is 10 video texts. Show up in PC with the video, telling what you learned, and build out your marketing calendar and write down ideas for content with different hooks. So all of these things that I talked about were hooks, right? 5 reasons to sell before the selling season picks up. That's a hook. You could reframe that in so many different ways to make it even more exciting. So I'm going to post these in the PC chat, and I'll schedule something on the calendar for March where we can get together and do some of our introduction videos and answering question videos, and then our marketing videos, our monthly marketing videos. Would everybody like that?
I think that's great. Yes.
Okay, I see nodding heads. That's great. Okay. All right, quiet people. And thank you, Ebony. I hope you all have a great weekend.
Wait, let me say one thing real fast.
Okay.
So we're going to be coming out with the week at a glance here very soon. The plan as of this moment is for next week to be kind of an intensive on the reverse bold 100. So getting the basically covering the whole thing. So what day is it going to be? What are the prizes going to be? What are the scripts going to be? Who are you going to call? What is the imaging going to be? How are you going to share it? How are you going to, remind people about it? How are you going to follow up with people afterwards? What questions are you going to ask them when they call in? So next week, we're going to be going bit by bit by bit. And then the plan right now is to do it on the 23rd of February at the office. So that's a Wednesday at the office during the day. And the way I envision this happening, and Candace envisions this happening is I see basically everyone sitting there with their notebooks, just taking calls.
Yep.
Right. Oh, hey, George, I got some questions for you. Hey, Sarah, I got some questions for you. Thank you so much for calling in. Right. And then maybe like a little Facebook Live, drawing it at the end, something like that.
Yeah, I love
Okay.
that.
So hopefully you can, that's the day we all get back from, or day after we get back from family reunion. So that is Wednesday, the 23rd of February. Okay. And I think the prices, by the way, go up for family reunion either today or tomorrow. So make sure you get in there and get yourself a digital ticket at the very least. Okay.
I think today is the last day. I saw that announcement come through.
Yes, I think it goes from 109 to 129 maybe. So you should be in that room, just so you know. It's not a matter of whether you're new or old or productive or not productive or whatever, part-time, full-time, you should be there.
And for those of you who are building a referral network, Michael Gold, there you'll get to meet agents from all over, and they have, if it's like Mega Camp, they'll have it set up where you can actually meet realtors digitally from different states and cities.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right. You want to wrap us up, Candace? Or is that it?
That's it. I hope everyone has a great weekend. I hope if you are, and I know rainy weather for me is sometimes it takes me down a notch energy wise. So if that's happening to you, or you find your motivation sagging a little bit, YouTube has so many wonderful motivational videos. You can just sit there and feel your heart rate going like this because you're so excited after you listen to one of those. So use the tools we have. You don't have to stay in that place. I don't have to stay in my rainy day head with clouds in my head. So remember that. Also, there are 10-minute guided meditations for motivation, for attracting abundance, for whatever you want to use. So be sure to use those tools if you find yourself on a rainy day feeling less than motivated. And I hope everybody has a great weekend. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We absolutely love being in business with you.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.